So, a report from a German investment bank is proposing that 5% of an employee's salary go to low income earners who don't have the privilege of staying home. This is obviously a conversation that's happening in lots of workplaces about staying, people working from home, the benefits, the drawbacks. What do we think of this idea of a kind of tax for those who are staying at home?
You remember that back when, and it feels like years ago, when Justin Trudeau stood up there and named out all this money that we found and had, and we was giving it to all these different people. I'm like, my goodness, I will never complain about paying taxes again. So I'm all here for that because I knew that that money was going towards people who could not survive financially in the coronavirus pandemic. For me, though, I think with this, we got to get specific on who's paying these taxes because, you know, while you're sitting at home and you're working from home, your internet bill has gone higher. You're going out to pay for your own lunches in some certain cases. You know, there are other ways in which the employee has really consumed and absorbed more of the costs when it comes to what employers are saving. So they should be the ones to pay the tax. And if they do pay the tax, they were saying in this article, 5% a day per body. I feel like the country could gain when it comes to how much money they could put towards people who are not in these circumstances. Another thing in the article I have and that I am against is it says, well, people that choose to stay at home should be the one to pay. Well, here's the thing. There are some parents out there who have to stay at home because if they go back into the workforce, that means that their kid has to get yanked out of childcare because they are not allowed to be exposed to other adults who are not in their bubble. So I think it gets really tricky when it comes to who wants to actually stay at home to work.
It's true. I mean, I think it'll be interesting in the post-pandemic times because I do think more people will be advocating to stay at home, to have a more flexible sort of work schedule because we've proven that we can be functional from home and do our work in many cases. I don't know. I find it interesting though that my partner, he's a freelance worker and he works from home often, and he gets tax benefits from the government for working at home. Right? He gets benefits. So breaks. There's an acknowledgement that you have to pay for stuff, and part of your mortgage and part of your heat and hydro are going into your office space. So why wouldn't that be the case in this case? I'm just confused.
Maybe it's not the case because it's coming from Deutsche Bank, who was fined $425 million for laundering $10 billion to Russia, who lent more than $2 billion to a failed casino mogul that goes by the name of Donald Trump. Maybe it's the source. I don't know.
Ooh. Shady. Privilege. This is from Claire on Twitter. In cities where there is a high number of government home workers like Ottawa, there's an impact on the local economy. People not stopping for coffee, going to restaurants, shopping for work clothes, not taking public transportation, resulting in layoffs. There is a cost. All I'm going to say is I agree with you, but all that shifting money, if you think about office cleaners, you think about that little coffee shop on the corner, you think of the little drugstore in the underground pathway in a city like Toronto, those places are ghost towns now. But I do think that the shift should be put on employers, not employees, to pay this tax. I think we just have to divert funds, and it doesn't have to be cost prohibitive. It just has to be a way to think about how do we take care of everybody. That's all.